here down the stretch and really see your vision come to life through the players that we acquire, not only through getting our own to come back, but also pro free agency in the draft. I think one of the things that I really want to emphasize here just from the jump is the qualities that we're really going to prioritize, and the intangible elements that I think by default we're all going to appreciate, but the thing that you'll come to see is that we'll actually come through on the back end with any decision that we make to be disciplined in our approach to actually prioritize those at every chance that we get to onboard a player. And so what I mean by that is the people that we're going to actually invite into this ecosystem, by being nothing more than who they are, they're going to elevate the culture and the environment. So we're not going to have to raise people, they're going to raise this entire group by just simply...
Man, the draft is about a month away, and the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to be heavily relied upon the draft. And there's some players out there that may be gems in this draft that really can help the Jaguars impact day one on this roster. Let's go.
I'm terrific, I'm finessing in that kitchen, dead Fisher. Dope yellow collar, something like or Indiana Pacers or Reggie Miller. I'm in that bit.
So, with the Jacksonville Jaguars having a lot of picks in the top 100 portion of the NFL draft, there's a lot of players out there that would have the potential to become impact day one guys, and that can really contribute to this roster, man. So let's go ahead and get started on the defensive side of the ball. There are three defensive ends that's linked to the Jacksonville Jaguars currently right now. You got a guy by the name of Mason Thomas from Oklahoma, Zion Young from Missouri, and Kieran Crawford from LSU. Those three guys have been linked to, saying that the Jacksonville Jaguars projected to get them at some point. And when I look at all three of these defensive ends, man, I look at, a guy like Kieran Crawford as being one of the guys that I think can come in and be an impact day one. Playing at LSU, he played on the big stage. And I think of those three defensive ends, I don't know why I was thinking the corners always be the first thing, maybe because I played. But defensive ends, I think he's be the first that could probably contribute with this roster day one. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know we got Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker. We don't know if he's going to be on the roster out there, but I think, he can really push guys in the defensive end room as well. He can come in and be a nice rotational piece to help the defensive end. So I got a guy like Kieran Crawford, the Jacksonville Jaguars, snatching him up, to help on that defensive line spot. Let's stick on the defensive side of the ball, and let's talk about the linebackers. Now, Kobe Taylor from West Florida and Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas Tech are two linebackers, again, that's been linked to being drafted by the Jaguars. I look at both of these guys as high potential guys, man. Both of these guys can really push that linebacker room, a room that's probably hungry of any bunch in the Anthony Campanelli's defense. With the loss of Devin Lloyd, I think you got some guys that's really interested on the field. And if you draft Kobe Taylor, which I think he has the most potential, he wowed everybody on his pro day. I think the Jaguars might get him, and he can come in and be a guy that can really, step on the field day one and really, be a key piece of the defense. As well as Anthony Hill, man. And this is a hard one for me, man, because choosing between both of these guys, I think the Jaguars, it's a potential they could draft both. But if they had to pick one, I would say probably Kobe Taylor would be the guy they would probably get. West Florida, pretty sure they got a little bit more tape on him being that he's in the state. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that probably be the pick. And I do think it's a solid pick, but I say it's more potential than anything. I don't know if its impact could be, I want it to be an impact day one, but for real, man, being that he played at a lower level, it's one of those things we just got to see, man. We just got to see. So let's stay on the defense, and at the safety spot, I think is another spot that you could get a guy like Cole Nowinski. Now, this guy is rated as the second best safety in the draft, so this guy might be coming off the board early. So I think the Jaguars may target him early on in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Being that he might be the best playable available. at the time, I think you got to go get him. You know, right now the safeties we got on the roster guys like Antonio Johnson, Eric Murray, and others. You know what I'm saying? We need depth though. You know, we've seen what happened last year when these guys went down. We kind of struggled on the back end. So I think bringing a guy like Cole Nowinski, he could be somebody that can come in and can play that role that, you know, Andrew Wingard did when he was with the Jaguars and when he played in back there in the back end. So Cole Nowinski is a guy I think definitely the Jaguars will target, and I think you know, by him being the second best safety, you got to get him, man. It's one of those guys that you just really got to go get if he's available. You know, the last person on the defensive end part of the ball is Chris McMillan from Missouri, another Missouri guy. Has a lot of potential. Now, I just seen this recently that he was linked to the Jaguars, but I don't know if the Jaguars would really draft him, you know, with one of those early picks, in my opinion. And the only reason why I say that is because when you look at his grade, you know what I'm saying, on NFL.com, and that's what I use kind of basically to get the research for my video. He had a real low grade as being an average backup or a special teamer. So I don't think, you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars will use their first pick or one of their higher picks on a special team guy. I can see that guy be maybe like a 5th round, you know, later pick in the draft if he's available. So, you know, I still think he's a rotational piece that if he was to get drafted to the Jaguars, Chris McLean. But, like, asking this guy to come in and, like, be like a starter, I don't think he's ready for that. And that's what NFL's analysts say. So, yeah. Honorable mention on the defensive side is Chris Howard, cornerback. Now, I don't think the Jaguars drafted a cornerback in this draft, honestly, but he is linked to the Jaguars. I don't think that, you know, with everybody in that cornerback room, guys like Travis Hunter, you know, you just signed Materi Brown, you got Braswell you re-signed. You got a lot of like younger guys in that cornerback room. I don't know if you go and get a guy like Chris Howard, but they say he linked, but I don't think you go get Chris Howard, in my opinion. I think your defensive back room is solidified at this point. You can just now just continue to build on that. You got the depth. But if you do draft Chris Howard, maybe make him a practice squad player and maybe a future kid, kind of like you did with some of these other guys like this year that's going to be expected to play, like Tootin and LaQuint Allen, those guys that played limited roles last year, playing mega roles this year, and maybe Chris Howard fall into that category. So let's segue to the offensive side of the ball, man. And on the offensive side of the ball, which is ironically strange, man, doing my research, the Jaguars don't have no offensive as far as linemen or things like that they're linked to as of right now. And so the only person that we'll start with is tight end Max Clare for Ohio State. And I look at this pick and I'm like, you know, if they was to get this guy, I mean, I don't really see this guy getting on the field, you know, this year, at least, you know, in my opinion. When you look at, you know, the tight end bench strings, and they just re-signed Quentin Morris, and you got other guys on the roster that Hunter Long, I think he's still on the roster as well. So you got, you know, experienced guys on the roster that's going to compete. I mean, he could be definitely a backup, but I definitely don't think he sees the field this year. Max Clare, he has a lot of good things. Limb corner lights, can block, can catch, and that's what you want in a limb corner offense. Guy that can be dual, and he's tough, man. Like I said, a lot of the players that the Jacksonville Jaguars was targeting, that I noticed that these are tough, you know, kids, man. That and they come from good programs that, you know, coaches, staff, philosophies kind of preach that toughness and things like that. So I think, you know, Max Clare will be a guy that maybe a kid that, you know, sit on the back end of the roster until his time is called. Then the last offensive player that being linked to the Jaguars is J. Michael Savant from Florida. Now, I do think this kid can come in and really compete for a wide receiver 4 or 5 slot on this roster. Right now, we know that the big three already took it. Parker Washington, freaking Jacoby Myers, and Brian Thomas. They get 1, 2, and 3. So you got, you know, an opening the wide receiver 4 and 5 spot. And I think a guy like, you know, J. Michael can come in and really compete. Now, I know you still got Austin Trammell and you got Tim Patrick still on the roster. But again, Jay Michael can push these guys. Like, again, you have to bring in young guys, man, when you build team building to push some of these older guys. Because you don't, some of these guys get complacent. They feel like their spot ain't gonna be taken. So you bringing in a younger guy to push these guys, keeping guys on their toes, I think it's always beneficial, man. And, you know, we're doing training camp, man. That's what it's about, competing. You want to find who's best out there. So I think, you know, you bring in that guy, and I think he really helps the wide receiver room. An already loaded wide receiver room, I feel like. But you just even make it even better with bringing in Jay Michael Stephon. So these are all the players that are being linked to the Jacksonville Jaguars for the draft. I want you guys to get in the comment section, let me know any wishful players that you think they should draft, guys out there that you like, man, we should try to go for him. Or do you think this is, you know, this list is capped, man? Get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. It's your boy Joe. Subscribe to the channel, man. I love you guys. If you haven't watched my last video on the Jacksonville Jaguars and their free agency stuff, the link is up here right now, man. Click on it, man. And also, if you haven't watched my other video about the Jacksonville Jaguars and how they trying to get these Super Bowl art, click the link in this video right here. It's your boy Joe. I'm out. Peace.